I remember in a certain office I used to work, one of my colleagues printed out, "Your mother does not work here. Clean the dishes after yourself and put it in the kitchen." And I was like, wow. Hello everyone and welcome back to Alla Nation. I'm your host Kate. Now, today I've been talking so much about China. I think maybe we should touch on Sweden a bit. Yeah, so today I wanted to look at do's and don'ts of surviving in the Swedish culture. Some of the things that I feel that I wish I knew before I moved to Sverige. So as always, let's start with the do's. And actually last time I did a do's and don'ts for China, right? Yeah, so let's do one for Sweden. Now, as always, let's start with the positives. What are the do's? Please, personal space. You know, there was a joke during the pandemic that you should be, was it 1.5 meters apart? Now, after the pandemic, the Swedes are like, now let's go back to 5 meters apart. Yeah, so always pay attention to personal space. Swedes love a little bit, you know, an arm's length distance. Limit the amount of touching in a conversation. Yes, I'm talking to you Africans. You cannot go hitting in Sweden. Keep your hands to yourself because they might get uncomfortable. And I've been in situations where Swedes have come to me to complain about other people. Oh, she was touching me when talking to them. And in my head I'm thinking they were being affectionate. Like, oh, it was so uncomfortable. I'm like, oops. Oh, yeah. The second thing, try to participate in fika. Now, what is fika? I think it's much easier if I explain it down here. So yeah, because just to be quick, fika is like a snacking session that Swedes have. If you're in a workplace, at least every Friday, or your Swedish counterpart or your friend might invite you to go for a fika. It's just coffee date or just an excuse to get together and have snacks or tea of a conversation. And if the opportunity arises, please join because they feel like you're embracing their culture and it's part of their day-to-day lives. They were born and started doing that. So I don't know how to explain this because I know in some cultures if your friend asks you for coffee you can easily say no. With Swedes, yeah. Another do, always talk about nature. They love talking about nature. Swedish conversations are always about nature. Oh, I love the trees. Oh, the trees look good. Oh, I love my neighborhood. It has a lot of trees. There's a small forest in my neighborhood. Try and talk about the nature and how beautiful Sweden is and the landscapes, and they love hearing that. Yeah, with this one I'm not even smiling because I don't think this is just Swedes. I think the rest of the world. Time. Myself, I know I had moments in my life where I didn't keep time, but as I grew older I realized how it makes me look. Just makes you look as if you don't have your life in order. But in Sweden, if you don't keep time, it's a big deal. You have to be punctual. Not too early though, and not too late. Just lagom. Again, I know you don't know what lagom is. I will explain down here. And if you're going to be late, of course they're humans, let them know. And don't let them know like 1 minute later, I'm gonna be late. Like if you're meeting at 10 and then you write 9:59, no, tell them at least 2 hours before, so that because time is money and people have a lot of things to do. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. The last to do is try to always remain tidy, clean after yourself. I remember in a certain office I used to work, one of my colleagues printed out, "Your mother does not work here. Clean the dishes after yourself and put it in the kitchen." And I was like, wow, that's so rude. But yeah, just try and take care of everything. If you have a dog, carry around paper, because I've seen this in China. People with dogs are not responsible. They let their dogs poop and leave their poop there. I have a dog myself, so I carried my Swedish culture, and I do have my trash bag, poop trash bag all the time. So you have to make sure, if you're littering, you take care of that litter. If you're in a common space, whatever you do that's under your responsibility, clean after yourself. If you go to someone's house, take off your shoes. If you're in public, do not spit. It's bad behavior, spitting. Anyway, that was a bit personal, but yeah, don't do that in Sweden. Now, don'ts. There are a lot like China or everyone else in the world. Do not boast. Try to be modest. Lagom, as I said. Lagom. Not too much, not too little. And do not... They're very sensitive about stereotypes. I know stereotyping is very human. To be honest, I've come to a point in my life where I'm like, if anyone tells me they do not stereotype, I don't know, I don't trust them. Because I feel like human beings judge things based on patterns. So if you tell me that, here's the thing, I do believe that you can stereotype, but you need to draw a line. Don't be mean, give people a chance, and try to be less judgmental. I feel like fighting some natural things. Stereotyping is a natural, judging is a natural thing. But how you behave, there's a lot of things about human beings. Human beings are very complex, and we have our bad behaviors and good behaviors. All I'm saying is understand your bad behaviors and tame them. And don't treat people just because you're thinking of something. Treat them based on. You have to maintain your political correctness. And I'm telling you, you cannot even joke about yourself. Even yourself, okay? I've tried that. And it really backfired. Okay. The other thing is, you know the way I talk like this? Don't do that. Swedes are afraid of that. They don't like animated conversations. It irritates them and just makes them feel weirded out. I think it's because they're expressionless, so they feel like you're doing so much. And then avoid political conversations, you know, like refugees, immigrants. Just stay away from those kind of conversations. Like, avoid making comparisons as well, like, immigration in Australia looks like this, or immigration in... leave it. You should never talk about it, ever. The other thing is, you should never, ever, how many times did I say that? Never compare Sweden to Norway, Denmark, those Scandinavian countries. Just stay away from that. That's like comparing Africans. People they hate it. It just means like you're going to homogenize the people, and those are different cultures. To be honest, I don't see a huge difference, but they see and they know where the shoe pinches. So when it comes to Nordic jokes, let them make their Nordic jokes on their own. I hope I educated you on something today. And if you have anything else to add, let me know in the comment section. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, toodoo!